This week's Success School does things differently.
As a woman, probably where I get cancelled because I'm really old-fashioned.
Helen Hill, the community manager of Success School.
So people are far left. There's a lot of people being classed as far right or whatever these days. It's just because of the life that they have lived.
Ross Grant, actor and creator of Act on This TV.
Just because you have a different view doesn't mean that those people go away. There's still many, many people that think and feel the same thoughts and feelings that they have.
Matt Hall, online business coach and visibility strategist.
I was angry because I was like, why are you giving that person a platform? I was outraged.
Yeah.
And until I started to meet those people, actually it was through Success School. That's been one of the biggest things in terms of growth. Hold space for somebody that I don't necessarily agree with.
Do you think that's something the world needs more of? I feel
Massively.
like
More than
so
ever
much
before.
polarisation for people. You know, I think a lot of people have got this attitude. It's like, oh, but I don't like that person.
You would have the same viewpoint as them. Your viewpoint on politics, the world, business, relationships, everything. If I had lived your exact life, my views would be exactly the same as yours. My views are mine because of the life that I've lived. I like legitimacy in business, right? You know, you're telling me to do all this stuff and I'm paying you for your membership, but where are your TV jobs?
By 30, I'll be married with 3 kids, living in a mansion, and I'll be a millionaire.
People are throwing away great in the pursuit of perfection. Where I've been on dates and after date 1 or date 2, I've been thinking, I'm not sure if this person's right. And then 4 months later, when I've gone, I've not found anything better.
Yeah.
Helen, as the woman who's been married for how many years?
13.
What is the secret, Helen?
It makes my head fall off. This whole thing where everybody is...
Ross, Helen, welcome to the show. This is going to be something a little bit different, and I just want to pre-frame why we're doing this, because obviously there's 3 of us having a bit of a chat. It's not so much of an interview, but at this time of recording, a lot has happened in a short space of time for me, for Success School. Obviously, Helen, you started out as a client we were working together, and now you work with me in the business. And it's been a little bit of a wild ride, I would say, just the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And we've evolved the brand slightly, and my mission moving forward with this show is to have conversations that challenge people's beliefs when it comes to the subject of success and what success actually means. My objective really is to bring on different viewpoints, not necessarily always people I agree with, but people that I believe we should listen to, because I think that's important, that we do listen to different points of view. And really, on a daily basis, I would say you two are 2 of the people that I speak with the most. So, and you are 2 people that challenge my beliefs. You're 2 people that I look up to, that help me, that support me, that inspire me. And so I just want to give people a flavour of this, the real conversations that happens behind Success School.
The people who have really built Success
The
School.
people who've really built Success School, which is you. I'm just the face of it. As we've just learned, I can't even say a sentence without messing up. But welcome. How are you both?
Good. And this is beautiful to be in a studio where everything is looked after for you.
It's different for you, right? Because in your business, so for those who don't know, you run a very successful online business called Act on This TV, and that is helping actors get work on TV fundamentally, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you do a podcast and you literally do it all yourself.
It's insane. Yeah, I am learning, and it's an evolution of years and years and years. I still haven't let go of the control within me. I'm a bit of a control freak. I'm learning to let go. But yeah, I when I'm doing my podcast, run everything. We've got people behind the cameras here, people running the audio. I do it all, host it, edit it, film it, put it out, do the micro content, everything. I'm learning to not do that, and I'm probably going to come and use you guys and just have it all done for me.
Why is that though? Why do you struggle so much? Because I know, knowing you pretty well, that you have a business that does really, really well, and you could invest in having a lot more help and support, but you proactively have chose not to.
Yeah, I think it started because I built the company from nothing. So I got so used to bootstrapping everything, doing everything myself because I had no money to pay anybody else. There's a part of me that really loves the creative side of building a business, whether that's designing graphics, video, sound, audio editing, all that sort of stuff, online marketing, doing all the
You
Facebook
genuinely
ads.
do love it as well.
I really do enjoy
Yeah.
it, genuinely. So there's a curiosity within me to really sort of like get a handle on the tech, use all the software. I buzz off just creating something from nothing and going, oh my God, look, this didn't exist apart from in my head, and now it's a real thing. So I think from having to do that for 7-8 years before I made any money, it's sort of like ingrained within me. So even now, where I've got, enough money to just pay other people to do this, there's a part of me that goes, I'm still curious about learning about it. I want to know what it takes to do a job. So there's probably a part of me that's quite frugal that goes, if I'm going to pay someone else to do it, I want to at least experience it a little bit myself, so I know what goes into it, so that I know that I'm paying you the right rate. Because, imagine if you'd never run a Facebook ad yourself, and then someone comes along and goes, and like they do, we'll do your Facebook ads for 15 grand. Yeah, no problem, 5 grand a month. And I go, well, what are you going to do? And they just go, oh, we'll just, we'll log into your Facebook ad manager, we'll sort out your meta pixel. They blind you with all this jargon.
And it happens.
And it does happen. And then before you know it, you've given 15 grand. The Facebook ads haven't actually worked. You've got nothing back on that investment. So for me, I'm like, no, I want to figure out initially how to run a successful ad. Once I've done it, then I'm happy to pay other people to do it, because I know the going rate and what the return on that could be.
And I get that. However, you know most things about, like, you have a basic understanding of most areas of your business now, and you have done for a while.
Yeah.
So what is the real reason you're not getting more people?
I don't know. Do you know what? I mean, there's. I have got people. So I've got full-time members of staff working for me now that I never used to have, and they've transitioned at the business. Over time, it wasn't all in straight away. I didn't have the money back in the day to do that. So, Petch, shout out to producer Petch, who works with me a lot. He's the community manager for Act on This and edits video for me and all that sort of stuff. I got him in the company initially. He was a member, like Helen. You were
Very similar
part of the community.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need someone who really is a champion of this community, who understands it, who knows it, who sees it from the customer's perspective.
It's so big, is that? I mean, that's for you, Helen. Like, because you've genuinely been a part of Success School, because it's given you something, and you wanted to be here, and you've loved it. You couldn't employ someone that would have the same mentality. Because I mean, Helen, you work a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it takes the piss what I get you doing, right? Be honest, like, just to be clear, I want full transparency, honesty, because I believe, like, that's what's going to give people listening real value.
It's 8:30 on a Friday night.
Like, exactly, and you're still here.
Yeah.
Like, how has that been? And you wouldn't do it if you didn't really care, right?
No, absolutely not. But I love it, and I'm passionate about it, and I've been there since day one with Success School.
Literally, when I started as a coach. Before I was actually coaching, when we had a membership with Dan, my cousin.
Literally from day one. And so I'm massively invested in it. I know what I've taken from it. I know how much it's helped me to develop and change my life. And I want that for other people.
Yeah, and you actually really do.
I really want that for other people, because it's just like opened my eyes to so much. And I think a lot of the stuff that we're probably going to go on to touch upon in this conversation, so I won't go too deep into it. But
go where you want, love. We'll go deep right now if you want. I'm ready. We're ready.
It's just been transformative for me. And I think because of that, I feel like I just really want to make that accessible to other people. And I know that, like, I mean, now obviously the growth is coming within Success School and the business is rapidly growing. But until now, you wouldn't have been able to afford to, pay me to work 70 hours a week, but I'm willing to do it because I want to see what we can achieve with it. And I know that we've barely scratched the surface with it.
And you won't get a better advocate than anyone who's running a business. If you are looking to take on team members, you'll never get a better advocate than someone who actually was there as a customer initially and has experienced the transformation that you promised they will get for being part of your business. Because that's ultimately what we're selling. We're not, no one's selling products. That's kind of, the gateway to the transformation you're selling. People aren't buying a course or a product or someone to do their Facebook ads or whatever. They're buying into that transformation. And if you've experienced that yourself and it works, you'll never get a better advocate than that. And that was Petch. Producer Petch. His real name's Lee. There's no one I trust more with my business than him, because he's seen it from the start.
That's how I feel with Helen.
Yeah, he was a member. he has ended up landing work on TV through what we teach. He actually came to me when we launched the program and said, I will do this program to prove to you that it doesn't work. And he did it, and then he landed a job on Coronation Street. So he's like, okay, right, I
did
believe
not know
you.
that story.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
So he was the
honestly.
biggest cynic.
Yeah, he initially, I think, life had just beaten him down. In the industry, like you're in the music industry, any entertainment sector is just full of rejection. So like I think, and this is the same with a lot of actors that come into my membership, is like they've just been beaten again and again and again and again, and then they just are like, it's never going to happen for me. And then you go, hang on a minute, like it's not. We can sort of formalize this a little bit. There are certain things that you've probably just not got in place that would lead to opportunity. Obviously, I can't do auditions for people. I can't get them the job, but there's certain things that we can teach people to get them more opportunity. And yeah, he came in saying, if I don't get a job in the next, I think 6 months or year max, I'm out, I'm quitting acting. I said, well, I've got this program I'm developing, why don't you be a guinea pig? He said, okay, I'll take it and prove to you that it won't work. And then he got a job on Coronation Street.
Him.
Yeah. And that was the first kind of like proof of concept that I did. And I went, right, can we repeat this? And then I've repeated it time and time again with dozens and dozens of people now.
And then we ended up doing a course together. So let's just go to some origin stories for all our relationships here around this very small round table. When we said we're doing a round table, man, we thought it was Stephen Bartlett-esque. We got this little wooden thing, but it's doing the job. It's holding up the drinks. So you were just saying before we started recording that you found a picture of us.
Yeah.
What year was that?
I think, because it comes up on your Facebook memories, I think it was around 2017, 18, around that time. I was doing a vlog because, again, right, I like legitimacy in business, right? There's a lot of people who talk the talk and they don't walk the walk. So for me, I was running ads on this. I was like, I am leading a community, teaching actors how to get opportunity, how to get auditions. And if I'm not implementing that in my own life, then, if I was one of them, I'd be like, well, what are you doing, mate? You're telling me to do all this stuff and I'm paying you for your membership, but where are your TV jobs? So I was like, the day I stop booking TV work, I won't run this community anymore. Now, luckily, it's not luck. I put the luck back in the pocket through a lot of hard work. I work on TV. And
that's the same how I feel. I think there's two things in our position that you must do, and that is, one, you must keep having your own successes and growing, and two, you must keep getting results for your clients. They're the two things always at the forefront of my mind with everything we do. Yeah,
definitely. So I thought, right, I'm going to do a vlog where I'm going to have someone follow me around. That was Petch. It was another job for Petch. 3-4 days a week, literally all day. You'll come to auditions with me. I was setting up other businesses as well. I had a business partner called Sean. Shout out to Sean Hopwood, the Hop. He's a legend. He lives in Dubai now. He's gone and done some big stuff. And Petch followed us around with the camera. We were setting up a clothing business. I was building acts on this, and then also building my acting career. And he'd come to auditions. I'd literally tell him to stop filming only if security said stop filming. Like, we'd go in every building.
Access all areas. I remember it. So at the time, I was still, I had left the acting industry quite young. So when I was in my teens, did bits of TV.
Yeah.
And then just completely got sick of the industry, started my business at 19, and then was just focused on growing that business. But I think around that time, I just started dipping my toe back in, thinking, should I get an agent again? I was probably 26, 27. And I was also just starting to get into self-development. And Gary Vee was like the goat, wasn't it? Like even then, and I know he was for you.
Massive.
And it was very Gary Vee-esque what you were doing, wasn't it? Because he had what was it?
It was
Daily V.
It was an entire rip-off of Gary Vee. Yeah. I can completely admit it. No,
if
absolutely.
You're listening, Gary.
Yeah,
Don't sue him.
Gary influenced me massively. And then also Stephen Bartlett started doing something called Everyday Steve, which was a very early vlog from him. And I remember, like, I met Gary in London, and I told him I was building this business, and he gave me loads of advice that was really useful. And then I saw Steve Bartlett doing this vlog when he was working for Social Chain, and that was very much carry the camera around yourself. He was vlogging himself, and then he employed.
That was when he had the hat on all the time.
Yeah, and then he employed a guy called Dodds, who was his version of my Petch.
Yeah.
And Dodds would follow him around a camera. And I thought, right, this is what everyone's doing. I'm going to do it and show people that I am walking my walk. So you will come to auditions. You'll come to every voiceover I do. We caught phone calls of me booking at the time the biggest jobs that I'd booked, my agent ringing me, and I'd put them on loudspeaker, and the actors would be able to see me booking this work and like the whole journey I was going on. So just to prove that it was super legit.
I think that level of transparency is why you've now been able to build an online community where you've got, what is it, like nearly 800 members?
It's over 1,000 now, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. It's about
Paying to be part of that.
116 as of today or something like that, yeah.
Wow, okay, that's grown since we last spoke then. I didn't even realise that. And then you've got your free community. Is that over 20,000 people in that one as well?
There's quite a few things. So I do run a Facebook group that's got over, I think it's only about 10,000.
Okay.
And then obviously, we
just
do
10,000.
Just 10,000. Then we do like loads of, I try and put as much free content out as possible. But it's just a way to build a business, isn't it? Give away some of your best stuff for free.
Just be transparent. And that's part of the reason I want to do this episode, because if people could just hear our voice notes and our chats, like we cover some ground.
Yeah.
And we really do, like all three of us. And I think that's important to be able to show that level of transparency. And I've been thinking about, we were talking about this, weren't we? Bringing back some kind of vloggy kind of behind the scenes, because I think people are intrigued. And I think when they're trying to make a decision if they want to work with you or not, they want to be able to see that access all areas, if it is legit.
Completely.
So let us know if you want us to do a vlog, by the way.
You should do it. You should do it. I watch more of Behind the Diary
I love it.
than I do of The Diary of a
So
CEO.
good. I do.
Which is
Same.
Steve's version of...
I didn't know that about
Yeah.
you, but I'm the same.
Yeah. It's way more interesting from a business owner's point of view.
That's what we want to
because-
see. And do you know what really gets me? It's when you see him on a Friday night at 1 a.m. saying, this is the reality, I'm still answering emails. I'm still doing shit.
Well, for a bit of legitimacy for Stephen Bartlett, because I think he's a decent guy, I used to email him.
Took you a bit of getting out.
I know. I've got
Tight
skinny jeans.
Skinny
They're not even in fashion anymore, are they? Everyone's going like.
We've all got them on. We're all.
Everyone's going total.
None of us are following the trend.
Like come dressed as each other, just with different t-shirts.
Everyone's going baggy jeans now. But I used to email Stephen Bartlett. I was living at home with my mum.
This is where he's going to show his fangirl side. Watch
Yeah,
this.
I was living at home at my mum's house, right, setting this business up in the spare room of her council house, right, where I'd grown up my whole life, and I would watch Everyday Steve and Gary Vee, Lewis Howes at the time, School of Greatness,
That was
massive,
my first podcast I listened to.
huge influences in my life around
Same.
business, kept me going when I was, at the time, my membership was probably turning over £200 a month, like nothing. We probably had 30 members or something like that, so few people in the community, but I would watch their vlogs, get so hyped, want to build a business myself, because I was super motivated by what they were doing. And I would see Steve on his Everyday Steve working at Social Chain in central Manchester, where the offices were on Portland Street, I think, at 11 o'clock at night with his dog Pablo, 12 o'clock at night or whatever, and I would email him and he would always reply. And like, even, and he wasn't massively famous. He wasn't a dragon at that point or anything like that. He was just building Social Chain. And I actually emailed him and said, I'd got his videographer Dodds on my vlog on Watch Ross. He's a legend as well. Dodds has done so much great work. He's a brilliant artist. He does augmented reality art now. He's absolutely an amazing guy. And I messaged Steve saying, look, you've been a big influence. I'd love to have you on my podcast or my vlog at the time that had like 1,000 views. No one was watching it. And I was like, I have nothing to offer you. There's nothing I can possibly bring to the party that you are going to need from me. So I'm just asking, would you do it out of the goodness of your heart? And the email he sent me back, he said this, and this was sent at, let me just see if I've got like a time or something. Yeah, this was sent, he sent this, I sent him a message about 9:30 at night. He sent me a message back at 10:04 on the 8th of April, 2018. And he said 2 things. 1, I always see you engaging with my content, commenting, etc. 2, I know what it's like when you know you can't offer huge ROI yet, in brackets, but you want the guest. You have to start somewhere and build with patience. When you have 1 million people in your audience, you just have to promise to pay it forward. So yeah, I'm game. My assistant will set it up and it might have to be when I'm in London or late, depending on what my schedule allows. Best, SB. And there was a guy at the time who was building a massive company and still had time for someone who could offer him 0. So it's legit. I think, and that's how you build. That's the mentality, I think, and the mindset that that breeds success, when you're just like, when you're willing to give with zero expectation back.
This episode is sponsored by Laura Robson and Back Pocket Office. Now, let me tell you about this one. Laura is somebody you need in your life. I have got her in my life, and all I can say about her is I don't know how I'd live without her. And it's true. If you're anything like me, you will hate tech. You'll be great at launching and creating the marketing material and delivering on the actual product that you're selling. But when it comes to the back end, making sure it's all automated and it all works, I just can't be bothered. And if you're the same, Laura is the solution. Laura is a systems strategist, and she's also a certified launch and funnel specialist. And if you are a service provider, if you're a coach, consultant, any kind of online business that provides some kind of online service, then Laura is there to help sort out all your funnels and systems for you. With over 14 years experience, she's somebody who's going to get you solutions quick. She's easy to speak to, very approachable, and just really friendly and nice, basically. So if you are ready to get your systems and your funnels all sorted for you and work with one of the best in the business, go check out backpocketoffice.co.uk and connect with Laura on socials. The links are literally right below this episode in the show notes. Go click it, and I mean this. Go and do it now. You will not regret it. I've got a bit of a gripe at the moment, and I understand it, but it's never been easier to start a business. We know, like, with the internet, with social media, with artificial intelligence, it has genuinely never been easier.
Yeah, I agree.
And there's a massive upside to that. I think the downside to that is we are breeding entitled online business owners that have never had to really, really hustle. Like, even just 5 years ago, it wasn't as easy as it is now, right? And that, like, there's a whole conversation around hustle culture and that kind of being a bad thing, and I get that, and that's a valid thing too. But that other side is that grit, that determination, that willing to answer that email on a Friday at 10 p.m. People ain't got that. So many people have not got that.
Some, I was going to say that some people haven't got
All right,
that.
yeah,
A lot of
PR
people
person.
You will, Helen. Helen will do it.
Has. Helen has. But I think it's important that we're honest about what it took and what it is taking right now, because everybody sees the gloss and they see the Stephen Bartlett with the biggest show, behind Joe Rogan or whatever. It's all right for him. But these are the real things that went on.
No, that guy is an absolute hustler with, from my experience, I don't know him. I've met him a few times now, like a genuinely good heart who will help people if they ask for it.
Whenever we've met him at events and so on, he will just stand there and talk to people for
we saw him
hours.
Saw him at VCon, remember? And I just went, I had the Diary of a CEO. We're just fanboys of Diary of a CEO.
Clearly.
We had the conversation cards. I had the conversation cards in my pocket, didn't I? And I just went over and said, Steve, will you do a conversation card with me?
That was very fanboy.
Yeah, and he went, yeah, sure. And he talked to us until security literally threw us out. Because he was giving us as much time. No, he's legit. And that, for me, Gary Vee said to me many years ago, he said, the one way, if you want to create a business that's going to succeed, he said, one word: care. That's it. Just care about the people you are serving.
So simple.
Yeah.
But people don't. People are desperate. People need to change their existence.
They care more about their outcome than their customers' outcome. And they don't realise if just get successes for the customers, their outcome is a dead cert that they'll be successful. That's massive for, been huge for me, that.
Can we touch upon role models and the importance of having that? Because, like you've just said, I think this is huge for people. Obviously, your role models have been people like Stephen Bartlett, like Lewis Howes, people like that. I don't know who yours have been, but obviously Stephen's
Same
been
people.
one.
Yeah. Gary Vee. Yeah.
And this is vital in seeing what it takes. The same for me, because I've seen you, and I've seen you put the work in, put the hours in. I've seen what it takes. So then it's not come as a shock to me that this is what it takes. And I've been willing to step into, this is what I've seen you. I've seen, all of the guests that we've had on.
Seeing is believing,
It's
right?
the
You've
seeing
got to
is
get around the
believing.
environment of it and be exposed to it.
Definitely. And I think people can go into it blinkered because they don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And I don't think you can blame people for that. But I think getting around the right people, like we always say, you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself by, or what you watch, what you consume, what you listen to. It's huge. Like, I listen to so many podcasts now, and some I agree with, some I disagree with, but I will take what I need to take from them.
I love that. I love the ability to be able to, even if you don't fully agree with someone, still take the things that is value. You know, I think a lot of people have got this attitude. It's like, oh, but I don't like that person.
Yeah.
But does that mean everything they say isn't valid?
And that used to be me.
Did it?
100% used to be me. When I came to you, you had a guest on Success School, and I was like, I remember sending you a voice note. It was years ago when I was just a member, and I was like, I can't believe you brought that person onto this show. I was outraged
Wow.
that you'd brought this person on. And
Tell us about that journey then. So from you being that person and the journey of being part of Success School as a member, as a client.
Because I think I learned that you can't just listen to people you agree with.
Like an echo chamber.
Yeah, because there's no growth to be had there. So as I went along the journey, as I listened to people that I didn't necessarily agree with, I realised that generally there was usually at least something that made me think, made me shift a belief, or, you know, helped me to understand the world a little bit better. And I'd definitely been somebody, you know, I've come from quite a sort of working class, ordinary background, whatever ordinary is.
It's not us.
And I think, and surrounded by people that were all the same, sort of.
Similar mentality.
Similar mentality, similar, you know, real sort of just sameness. And so to get outside of that and to, you know, I used to hold all them attitudes like, oh, all millionaires are wankers. And, you know, like, because that's what I grew up with. That's the attitudes I grew up with.
Can you remember the last film that you watched where the rich people were portrayed as good people?
No. And
I was thinking about this.
Yes, that's really interesting. Yeah.
And until I started to meet those people, which actually was through Success School, through the members' Zooms, where they would come on, they would talk, then we get to ask them questions, then you get to interact with these people that are making multi-millions of pounds, and they're humans.
Yeah.
And they're all right, or they're nice, or they're really helpful, that I started to shift my beliefs and realise that everything had changed. But definitely for me, in terms of, that's been one of the biggest things in terms of growth, is that now I can hold space for somebody that I don't necessarily agree with.
Don't you think that's something the world needs more of?
Massively.
More than
so
ever
much
before.
Polarisation for people.
I think what it is it's for me how I get around this, because you can get so, like, there's so much there is so much divide, isn't there, in society right now. There's so many polarizing views. And I think for me, if you just look at people objectively, this is how I deal with it. It's how I deal with trolls, because you will get your fair share. You know, I get people commenting on videos and things. I don't get it if people don't know me and they just see this brash guy shouting about this, that, and the other. They'll think, oh,
actors.
You know, yeah, I shout all the time. Actors. I get it, and I think what's really worth understanding is that if you'd have lived that other person's life that doesn't agree with you, or you don't agree with them, you would have the same viewpoint as them. Your viewpoint on politics, the world, business, relationships, everything is wholly based on your experience and the life you have lived. If I had lived your exact life, my views would be exactly the same as yours. Yeah. My views are mine because of the life that I've lived.
How powerful is that as a thought?
It's just appreciating that. There's no way your views were never going to be, there was no world where your views were not going to be what they are, in terms of, like, because of the life that you've lived. So if people are far left, there's a lot of people being classed as far right or whatever these days. It's just because of the life that they have lived. So if you go, hang on a minute, if I literally walked in your shoes, I would have the same viewpoint. So is there anything, if we can just have a conversation that's normal and that's just a non-aggressive conversation, is there anything we can learn from each other? And that's what I often do. I will go into the comments where I've been trolled, and I will, very often, this has happened like 9 out of 10 times, where someone has been saying something that they sometimes can be really quite nasty as well. If I go, hang on a minute, I would be just as nasty as you if I'd have lived your life, right?
Yeah.
Simple as that. And I'll end up having a conversation with them, and by the end of it, we're best mates and they've joined the membership. Or they'll write me an email, I'll send an email to my list, and I'll literally just get an email back going, fuck off. And then I'll write a reply back going, oh, hi, Dave. I'm really sorry if what I sent you this morning didn't resonate. You know, if you are an actor and you do need any help, you know, you've got my email address. Please just shout up any time. You know, have a great day. I won't write fuck off back, you know, And then what happened is 10 minutes later, Dave will message me back and go, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize this inbox was even monitored. I didn't think anyone would read it. I'm just having a really bad day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I completely get it, because if I was living your life, I would have reacted the same as that. So that's kind of like just a way to separate yourself emotionally.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't give people carte blanche to be absolute dickheads.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to be like, oh, you can punch me in the face because you've had a bad life. You know, there comes a point where it's like, you know, we all have shit to deal with. Yeah. But it is a way to diffuse such massive polarity that's in the society right now. I've never seen it as divided as we are today. No.
How do we help more people think like that? Because that isn't easy. It doesn't come naturally.
Really
to
hard.
People.
Yeah. I think really it's on education, isn't it? I think if you're a headline reader and you read all the headlines that are sensationalized, you don't really understand. You'll be sold the narrative and you don't really understand the nuances of it. So for me, you know, I really want to research stuff for me to actually have an opinion on it, because I just think I'm going to make a fool of myself otherwise. If
You're good with that, really good with that.
And also I'm good at keeping my mouth shut if I don't understand. Sometimes you feel pressured, particularly around social, societal things. You know, it could be like, you know, the next hot topic, you know, like Palestine at the moment. It could be Black Lives Matter, it could be Me Too, you know, in the acting industry. That was a big one for us. If I don't fully understand the nuances of that situation, I'm just not going to say anything on it, because I don't
still
feel
get called out.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I don't feel qualified. I will speak about something when I genuinely feel educated on that subject, and if not, I'm going to stay in my lane and talk about acting.
I don't know.
It's fine to say I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's certain people. Gary Vee, going back to Gary Vee again. What I love about him when he does his keynote speeches is he puts so much Q&A in. He doesn't just go, I'm going to come and talk at you. You know, he's got nothing to sell anybody. You know, a lot of people do a keynote where they've got something to sell. He'll just come, do a keynote, and he'll do loads of Q&A to try and help somebody. And what I love about him is when people ask him a question, if he doesn't know the answer, he won't try and make something up. He won't bullshit people. He won't try and think, oh my God, if I don't know this, I'm going to look stupid. He's not afraid of going, I don't know. I just don't know.
We need more of that.
It's a sign of true intelligence, that, I think.
Yeah, because everyone else is just trying to bullshit everybody else. Like, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I think, like, with most things, this is the conclusion I've reached, is most things are in the grey area. It's not black or white.
Massively.
Whenever you look at anything, and I always think of things like nutrition, you've got on one end of the scale, there's people that saying you should just eat meat and nothing else. On the other, you're saying you should never eat meat. And I think like both are not right.
Yeah.
And I think you could say the same with politics. You could say the same with, you know, things like, oh, rich people greed, whatever. It's like whenever you have an extreme viewpoint, in my experience, I think you're probably wrong. And I think everybody should just, it's not easy to do, but have remove the ego. Because remember, beliefs have all been passed on to us by other people anyway. Like it's not like we were born with these beliefs.
And not a single one of them is reality either. I like what you always say. Like, you know, your reality isn't the actual. Yeah. You know, the actual reality. Your reality is whatever you believe,
based on distortion, deletion, generalization, filters, and right. And I think getting people to relax those beliefs and generally recognize if you're really passionate about one end of the scale, you've probably gone a bit too far. So that's what I believe with a lot, even the ones that are well-meaning. Well, everyone thinks their beliefs are well-meaning, right? But I just think people, whenever you go to an extreme, you're probably wrong. And you have to check yourself and bring yourself a bit more to the center.
I'll tell you who I see an absolute master of this, and there's probably a polarizing figure nowadays. I don't know exactly why. I think he's incredibly intelligent, but someone who you can see weighing up both sides of an argument on the spot and coming to a really articulate, well thought out answer is Jordan Peterson. Mm-hmm. If you see him being asked a question and being challenged on his beliefs. He's never defensive. He's never attacking. And he will sit in silence. There's something quite fascinating. You know, when someone asks someone a question and they just, on a podcast like this, and you'd ask a question, I need to fill silence. You probably realise that by now. Always have to be talking.
Really?
Where Jordan, you ask him a question. And then he'll give an answer. Yeah. And within that moment, it's captivating because you're seeing him reason with himself and his own beliefs in real time before he gives an answer. His answers aren't all rehearsed. Yeah. They're not, you watch a lot of podcasts sometimes and I hear the same canned phrases and
Definitely.
answers on
Yeah.
17 podcasts. And in that moment, they might sound intelligent, but when you've heard them 16 times, you go, oh, that's rehearsed. Kamala Harris did a great job of we can be, I can't remember the phrase, but the amount of times in every interview, unburdened by, what did she say? It was like unburdened by what had been. I can't remember. It was this phrase. And someone put a video together of a million times she said this thing. And if you watch it in isolation, you go, oh, that's a really great soundbite. But then when you see her say it 700 times, you go, oh, you're not reasoning in the moment. You're giving me a canned response that you plan and you get in every single interview that you do.
Well, interestingly, they say, don't they, like one of the factors that they think played a big part in Trump winning was the fact he was going on these long form, unrehearsed.
Joe Rogan won in the election.
Right.
100%.
Because it was that level of whether you agree with him or not, just the fact that somebody that was trying to be president was happy to go on a podcast for hours and talk about anything and everything and not be scripted and not, because we're so bored of that, aren't we? And I think podcasting in general has changed the landscape. When we go back 15, 20 years, if you wanted to hear from someone famous, they would just be on a television set with like a 15-minute interview and give, like you're saying there, those well-rehearsed same answers that they do at every single interview.
It's why I think chat shows have died a death. You know, when you think back to like when I was growing up, you had Parkinson, and it was like a genuine,
Parky,
it was a
though.
Parky, genuine chat. Though it wasn't, you know, like completely rehearsed. They were having a good chat about something. They went quite in depth. And then you look at, you know, no shade on him, he's done very, very well. But you look at like a Graham Norton today. They've got very like tiny little slots for each guest. They sit on the sofa. They're all there really to sell a product. They've got a new book out, a new film out, or whatever. And the chat, Jonathan Ross was the same. No, like shade on him either.
Yeah, they are both good though.
They're really good, but it was, you know, they were more interested in the gimmicks and the laughs than the actual, like the real value these people can bring on. Jonathan Ross would bring on someone who had led a fantastic life. And the show was more about, so who have you had sex with then?
Yeah.
It's like, well, hang on a minute, you've got this person who's got all this knowledge of a 70-year existence on Earth, so much wisdom to impart, and you're more bothered about who they slept with than you are about the real like value they can bring your audience. So podcasting has brought us those conversations that I prefer listening to than the surface level, I'm here to talk about my new film.
What do you think, Helen, about the whole thing of like, going back to what you were saying before about you were that person, like how dare you speak to that person, to now hearing me say things like, I think if you get that extreme, you've probably gone too far. How do you feel about it today?
I think at the time I was angry because I was like, why are you giving that person a platform?
Which a lot of people say, right?
Allowing, like, why are you giving them airtime? But I think now I've started to kind of understand that actually, like even if you really disagree with that person and you come away from it still disagreeing with them, or maybe even disagreeing with them even more, right? But they still have a right to speak. and we can't literally, unless somebody's saying something completely unacceptable.
Where's the line?
Well, I mean, that's a debate in itself, isn't it? Where is the line?
Very topical.
Where is the line?
At the moment, yeah.
But I think unless somebody is you know, really doing something awful, then they have to be afforded the right to speak. And to a point, we have to listen, because it might solidify your dislike for them even more, or it might open up your mind to actually think, maybe I've got that person wrong, or maybe that person does make some good points.
I've
or
changed my
maybe,
view on people so many times by just
me
listening,
too.
and I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
Just the same as my view, and we'll get onto this next, but my view of success has changed many, many times. Like, I think if you're just stuck in your way, having the same thoughts and opinions, then that's a you problem.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things back then, because I think I know you referred to, which is a very controversial person, and back then, you know, would I have them on now? Not sure. But back then, my point was, just because you have a different view, by just trying to silence them or whatever, not give them airtime, doesn't mean that those people go away. There's still many, many people that think and feel the same thoughts and feelings that they have.
Yeah.
So you're just saying all them people, we just silence, we don't give a voice. Actually, how does progress happen? Through conversation with those
exactly
people.
Engaging with those people, like those trolls, you know. I had an episode last year or earlier this year where another, person in the acting industry just, really had misunderstood, what I was standing for and a part of my business that I was running, and really went to attack me, like publicly, like no holds barred kind of thing. And I'd done nothing to this person, and everything they were saying was false. And I just wrote one reply going, if you'd have just reached out, I would have brought you on a YouTube live. And I'm an open book. You could put all of these points to me and let's have a grown-up conversation about it. Because I guarantee you within 30 minutes, you'll have changed your mind on me.
I said that to you, didn't I? Do you remember? I can't even remember why it was now, but it was only a few months ago. And somebody was coming at you online.
I've actually
really bad.
That 2 months ago feels a long time ago.
No, it was probably more than 2 months ago, but somebody was really laying into you. Yeah.
I've genuinely forgotten.
And I said to you, invite him on your podcast.
Yeah.
Who was
and you
that?
were like, oh, and I was like, do it.
Oh, it does ring a bell, but I can't remember now.
Because number one, I bet he's not that brave when he has to sit face to face with you. And number two,
we did invite him. I remember it was somebody saying, "Oh, another scammer selling courses," and I invited him on, and he blocked me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I really wanted. I'm like, every point you've got, let's hear it, because other people will think it.
Yeah.
So let's have this conversation. Let's have a conversation, and at the end, you might still think I'm a scammer.
Yeah.
But then you need to check the definition. But that's okay. But at least we've had a conversation, and he just blocked me.
Yeah.
They won't. This person who I said that to, just literally never heard from them again. You know, and it's like, why? Like, it's a shame, isn't it? Because I'm like, actually, you know what? If you did engage with me, you would probably realise that we have way more in common than things we don't. You know, like we probably are. You know, in your own way, you are trying to advocate for actors in a different way that I am.
Based on your experiences.
Yeah,
like you said
based on
earlier.
your life. If I'd have lived your life and I'd have had the experiences and, the good, the bad, the trauma, whatever you've had, I would think like you as well. Like, and if you'd have lived my life, you would think like me. So, and we're both, our end game is both, I think, I can't speak for them, but, they're trying to make actors' lives better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that. So actually, like, what's the point in fighting? Why don't we just, if anything, why don't we collaborate?
Yeah.
And we might do things in a different way, but it doesn't mean that you have to attack me. Like, it's wild, isn't it? But come and have a chat.
Yeah.
So let's talk. The final question that I always ask on this show is, what is your definition of success? But I want to do things a little bit different today. I want us to go deep on that, because I think, as I've just touched upon there, my definition has definitely changed over the years, and what I thought was success isn't what I think today, and things like that. So in terms of us today living a successful life and how successfully we're doing that as well, I'd love to know. I mean, you said, Ross, when you were talking about that picture of me and you back in 2017 or whatever. Yeah. You were saying, like, what did you say about me?
I said most people, sort of like get worse as they get older in terms of the way they age. A lot of people, they stop looking after themselves as much. They stop working out. They don't focus as much on the basics, that we talk about. And you hear this phrase, don't you? Like, oh, they're a shadow of their former self. And I said, looking at that picture of you, in that picture, you were a shadow of your future self. Because I saw that picture pop up on my Facebook the other day. I don't think we finished the story off before, but going back to when I was vlogging, I was doing Watch Ross in Media City. Your girlfriend at the time was a makeup artist and was doing makeup for my guests on the podcast.
Yeah, we don't talk about her, Ross. I know I said access all areas, apart from her.
Okay.
She is banned.
And then you came in and I found out you were doing the Take That stuff, which I found really interesting.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, come and have a brew and you can be on the vlog. And looking at that picture on the vlog, like, you're skinny, you're washed out, you don't look like anywhere near as healthy as you do now.
Yeah, I wasn't.
And you look burnt out, like unhappy. So I said that image of you was a shadow of who you are now, which is good. So you've done it the right way around.
Thinking about the timeline now, that would have been not far before everything came crashing down. So I think I was about 27, where I realised everything that I thought I was building that was leading towards success was not what I thought it was. So as somebody who started a company at 19, I naively had that mindset of, oh, by 30, I'll be married with 3 kids, living in a mansion, and I'll be a millionaire. That's what I thought. When I started that business at 19, that's what I thought. And at that time that you're referring to, I would have been 27, 28, something like that. Just about to break up with that girl who we don't mention. She's like Voldemort. And we'd been together nearly 7 years. So that was like the person I thought I would marry and have children. And that really started this success school, because everything I thought was success hadn't become success. You know, as you say there, I was unhealthy. I was working 7 days a week. I was literally exhausted. I felt tired all the time. All the time. I felt ill, actually.
You looked ill. Without sounding rude, you looked...
Cheers, mate.
Mate.
Brought my friend on.
You looked... I could give you that picture and you can put it on the podcast if you want. You didn't look well, mate. I thought honestly, your face was gaunt, bags under your eyes. You were a mess.
Brutal.
Cheers, Ross. Bring you on my show.
Compared to now, though, I would have thought that was Matt at his best probably back then.
Yeah.
But seeing you now and what you're like now and what you've achieved since, no, you're a completely different evolution of who you were.
This episode is sponsored by Dr. Tania King-Mohammad. She is the high ticket woman, the #1 best-selling author of the high ticket method, and one of the most sought after high ticket experts in the game. Basically, if you are an entrepreneur who is serious about scaling their business, you need to grab a copy of her book right now. Literally, I have read it and it is a game changer. It will blow your flipping mind. Tania is the mentor that the entrepreneurs call once they are finished playing small and are ready to start charging their worth. Working with Tania is all about creating consistent high ticket sales and doing it in a way where you can create a freedom level income without the constant hustle and grind like a lot of the other mentors bang on about. If you're listening to this show, you already know you're somebody that's meant for more and is willing to go and work for it. So basically, you need to get into Tania's world. Go and grab a copy of her book right now on Amazon and make sure you give her a cheeky little follow on Instagram. She is at Freedom with Tania and she's consistently giving strategies, tips and advice over there for free so you can start charging your worth and actually starting to believe in it. I think it's hard because I was always ambitious and I was always working hard and willing to work hard. But when you're working hard on the wrong thing, it's like just banging your head against a brick wall. And that's what I was doing. I was trying to build a business that was really low profit margins, that required a lot of overheads, a lot of, traveling, because it was a live entertainment business with bands performing and things like that. So it wasn't an output problem. Like the work ethic was high, but when you can work really hard on the wrong thing and you'll never make money and you'll never create a life that is a successful life, and even if you are making money, but you're working like that. And I think the way I describe it is out of alignment. I wasn't aligned. I wasn't living a life building stuff that I was passionate about building. No disrespect, because it's a business that I still do genuinely have a lot of fond memories of at the same time. And I'm grateful for the people that work in that business today. And my best friends are in it as well. Do you know what I mean? Like there is another side to it. But really, I was building a business about tribute acts. People pretending to be someone that, just putting on a wig and pretending to be Elton John.
It's my entire industry. It's what I do.
Well, actually, yeah, sorry. I'll offend you back.
Thanks.
But
that's my job.
Sorry. No, but I had bigger dreams than that. And I, as myself performing in that band, getting on stage and everybody saying you're somebody you're not and applauding you for being somebody you're not. I get nervous now standing on stage being me because I'm not used to being me. It's still very new to me because I've had 15 years performing as somebody else. So that was a journey that I had to go on, is trying to figure out who actually really am I, warts and all. Can I be okay with that? And can I start to share that? And I think for me, I wasn't doing that then. And internally there was conflict.
Yeah. You were just Mark Owen.
And I think for you, actually, that's been an ongoing journey that I think you've only actually probably in the last year or so really come out of.
I agree. Definitely.
Because I've seen a lot of versions.
You've seen it all, right? Let's talk. Shall we talk about again? He who shan't be named. There's a lot of potential lawsuits if we mention fucking hell. But basically, the easiest way of putting this is just shortly after that period was when I started this Success School with my cousin at the time. It was called something different at the time, Rich in Success. And it was because we had this need to figure out what life's all about and what success really is and what we've been getting wrong and what the right thing to do is.
Dead quick, where did that come from? Because that happened relatively sort of like, it's almost like a switch had been flipped.
After the breakup.
Right.
I had this big breakup. I'm nearly 30 thinking this was meant to be mansion, millionaire, children, wife. I'm single. I'm going on dating apps for the first time.
My life.
Fucking someone says Bumble. I'm like, what the frig's Bumble? And
It's
next,
not as good as Hinge.
Hinge is way better.
It's way.
It's
I was on
way
it before
better.
I was on it before we hit record.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, Hinge is better. Why? It's the same
Significantly
people.
better.
But everyone's on everything.
The interface is better. The way that the photo
He's such a tech geek.
is
Stop
better.
it. The interface
The
is better.
interface
I'm on
of
about
a
the
dating
women,
app.
Ross.
But I don't know why.
That is such a Ross answer.
Yeah, but I think the quality of the interface attracts better people who
We've
appreciate
just
that.
found
Yeah,
out
but
why
are
you
you
need
on
a dating
Bumble?
app, Ross.
Yeah.
This is my point, and so am I.
not
And
as
we're on Hinge. The same people are on both.
Do you behave differently on different platforms?
Yeah, I get bored very quickly on Bumble because it's shit.
Yeah. Hinge, I buy roses and I'm happy to upgrade and pay for Hinge X and get all
Ross.
the... I invest. Helen.
He's an
I invest
investor.
in that.
He's an
Oh,
This is what
investor.
we'll talk about, though.
Weird.
We'll talk about this later when you're talking about success, because this is an area of my life I've never, ever been able to figure out. I think business is easy now. Relationships, for me, has been the area of my life where I've felt truly fulfilled when I feel I'm in one that's working. And without that, I do feel that there is a piece of success in my life missing right now. We talk about that in a bit, but I think it's huge for most people. We all want to be loved. Drop that in.
Well, it's a basic human need, isn't it? Like, it
Massive.
genuinely is one of our human needs, is love and connection. Like, we need
I
it.
would suggest a lot of your business, and for me, a lot of what we do is because, it makes a massive impact on other people, but we get love back for it. That's a driving force. We need it in our life. We need that connection, that love and connection. We know, significance, love and connection, certainty, variety. Business brings all of those things, as does a relationship.
Do you think we're addicted to our business?
Yeah, I'd say I absolutely 100% am.
Do you think we're obsessed?
Yeah, it's the thing that I tell you what it is for me. It's probably a deep wound somewhere, some insecurity, where I know it is the thing that I can rely on. If everything else in my life is going to shit, two things I can rely on and I can influence massively are my health to a certain point, which is getting up foundationally for me. If I don't work out every day, I don't feel right. I need that in my life. I can control that. Thus, that becomes an addiction in a way because it makes me feel like, whether it's an illusion or not, I have a bit of control, over that foundational thing, which is my health. Second thing, the one thing I know I can rely on is my business, because it's mine. It's like my child. I know it inside out.
Built it from day one, from scratch.
And I can always go back to it. It will fully accept me. And I know, if I provide enough value there, effectively, I can... If I, it's just a value exchange, isn't it? If I keep coming up with products that offer enough value, it will keep rewarding me in many ways through that success of other people, that love, that connection, and financially. It will always have my back.
Do you think it's unhealthy?
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm dead honest, I think I over-index in that. Because it is so reliable, and also there's a part. I mean, my identity's wrapped up in it. So if I lose that, who am I? Who's Ross with his acts on this, isn't he?
Who is he?
Yeah, who is that guy?
But who is he?
Who is he?
Without it.
Well, I mean, that's deep, isn't it?
Do a Jordan Peterson think.
Yeah, I'll go
Stop talking, Ross,
I'll
and
go
think.
silent for 5 minutes. Who is he without that? Ultimately, the same person who would find another way.
So you almost need that, something that brings you fulfillment, purpose, a mission. I think I'm the same, and I don't think that's bad. But what's interesting, coming back full circle to the beginning of this episode, where you were talking about being a bit of a control freak, as you call it, and not wanting to hire more people. That makes me think, what is the cost to not allowing other people? Because the very real cost, I guess.
It's where I'm at right now. This is when you're talking about success. This is absolutely what I am battling with. like constantly in my life now that I wasn't battling in my 30s with, because I felt I had all the time in the world.
Did you? Okay, well, I'm 34, so this is going to be wisdom I need to
Wisdom
hear
for
this.
you. If I could go back to 30, I will tell you now what success isn't. Success is not all the money in the world in your bank account. It will never truly fulfill you.
Yeah, well, I know that. That doesn't bother me.
So a lot
I'm
of people
okay with that.
chase that, and they go, if I just have, I promise you, if you've got 100 grand in your bank account, you'll want 200. You got 200, you want 300. You got 500, you'll want $1 million.
Well, with the tax that I have to pay, you have to.
Yeah, that's true.
Jesus Christ.
You will always want more of it, and at some point you become numb to it as well. So you will do a launch, you do successful launches, you might go, right, I've launched a product that's going to impact loads of people's lives, have a genuinely positive effect. Your heart is pure when you're doing that, but you will make 6 figures that day. And if other things from my experience in my life are not in place, I can get into bed that night and feel empty. Honest to God. Because I will lie there. This is the thing that I struggle with so much.
But is it a fleeting moment or is it deep?
It's quite deep.
Because there's everybody in life right now has one area of their life they're really happy with and another that they wish could be better. That's just part of the human experience. It's not like perfection. Yeah. I think that's important to acknowledge as well, is our expectation shouldn't be that we feel completely fulfilled and happy all the time, right?
No, definitely not. And it is because I have what I feel is so many areas of my life sorted. You can always, I'm very good at gratitude. I'm very good at coming back to the things that, and I can feel quite excited in the same moment to a certain degree. But the one theme that keeps coming up in my life, and time again, keeps coming back to this significant relationship that I have not found in my life at 43 years old. And
Why?
Why
haven't you?
I mean, mate, I try so hard.
So is it all them that's the problem?
It can't be. That's not
Do you
rational.
think you could be trying too hard?
I think there's when you really look deep into it, there's attachment styles, and I think society is cultivating really unhealthy attachment styles in a lot of people because of what they think their life should look like.
Yeah.
So if you don't know the attachment theory, there's a secure attachment, which I feel I have, which is kind of like I'm cool in myself. I would feel like, I'm not saying I'm not whole on my own. I'm so used to being on my own, and I'm really happy. There's moments where I'm genuinely really, really happy with the life that I have now. And if I thought I won't have a relationship or a family, would I be okay with that? I'm never 100% okay with that, but I'll be like, no, okay, I could be satisfied, enough. But so I feel secure in terms of like my attachment style. If I'm in a relationship, I'm not anxious. I'm not checking up on that person. I'm not sort of I don't know, like paranoid it's all going to go wrong or something like that. Equally, so you have people who have a secure attachment style, an anxious attachment style, or an avoidant attachment style. And I think, unfortunately, looking at the relationships that I've had, and I don't know this for sure, I've been with either anxious avoidant or avoidant people who are okay in a relationship until it becomes serious, where they go, I'm actually responsible for this person's emotions now. Or their framing of a relationship is that relationships don't work. Maybe their experiences of relationships with family members or people around them is that bad things happen in relationships the longer they go on or whatever. So when it's not serious, they're totally cool in a relationship and it's fine. I've thought everything's okay. And it clearly hasn't. And then later on, when it's become more serious and there's maybe more investment required on their side, they go, I don't know if I want this. I might want it, I might not, so I'm out. So I think maybe that's kind of what's happened.
Helen, as the woman who's been married for how many years?
13.
This is amazing.
13 years married. How long together?
17.
Why do you believe we're both single?
Unbelievable, that 17 years. What is the secret, Helen?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not easy. I'll tell you that. It's not easy. But I think there's more. Oh, just not the mic. I think there's more of that now. What you've just described of this avoidant attachment thing. And I think that stems from this whole reality TV thing, all the social media stuff. Yeah. Everybody's one foot in
Yes.
Nobody puts both feet in anymore.
And I am a 2 foot in man.
Yeah.
My dad said this about me years ago. He said, "You'll be a one woman man."
Yeah.
And I tried to be.
Yeah.
And then they dumped me.
Yeah.
So
but
now
that's it. They go 1 foot in, and that's what I see now. The difference in relationships. When I've only. Like, I've never really been single, to be honest, in being an adult. I had a 3-year relationship that broke up, and now I've been in a 17-year relationship and I'm 41. That's been my entire adult life. I've never slept around. I've never, and I don't get it. Like, it makes my head fall off. This whole thing where everybody is half in, but is there anything better coming? I can't deal with that.
And it's minute something's not perfect, they go, I don't know if this is right.
This is the
and start looking elsewhere.
double edge of Hinge and all those apps.
Yeah.
Yes, it's brilliant.
Oh, I actually don't like the apps.
It gives you access to people that, without having to go into every bar in Manchester or whatever. And at 43, my wife's probably not in a bar in Manchester, to be honest. Not like, you meet people in your 20s and stuff. But the double-edged sword when it comes to the dating apps is it's brilliant you've got access to all these people. But it's terrible you got access to all these people.
Yeah.
Because if something's not perfect, people are throwing away great in the pursuit of perfection. And I've experienced it myself. I'll be transparent here as well, where I've been on dates and after date 1 or date 2, I've been thinking, I'm not sure if this person's right for me. I don't really like that about them. And maybe we're not compatible here.
Yeah.
And it fizzles out.
You still think that after 17 years, believe me?
Yeah, they've never got away.
Well, it's fizzled out. And then 4 months later, when I've gone, oh my God, actually, you know what? I've not found anything better.
Yeah.
And maybe that was okay.
Yeah.
Actually, that was nowhere near as much of a deal breaker as I thought it was in the moment. I should have given that person a chance. And part of me wants to DM him and go, should we have another date? But I think I can't do that because there's 6 months have gone by and we've,
you look a bit like an arsehole.
Doing the same thing. I'm smashing the mic. But yeah. So I think there is this pursuit of perfection and people are throwing away good and great relationships in pursuit of this thing that actually doesn't exist. And I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, please, God, if there's any, I'll even get religious, if there's anyone out there, show me. I will surrender. Just show me what I need to see in order to find this person, because it's not being not feeling whole, not being with someone. But I have felt some of the most euphoric, happiest moments in my life with and without money in a fulfilling relationship. And they are moments that I have never been able to recreate without one. So it's not being anxious and insecure and going, I need a person to be happy. But I have felt a level of fulfillment and happiness that I have never, ever felt in my life in a relationship. I felt that in the relationship that I've never felt outside of it. So for me, that is the thing that I'm like, for success now, that for me is like that inner peace. And I'm not talking about peace like when you go on holiday or a weekend away, not that kind of peace. But success for me is that peace you have, even when life can be chaotic and hectic, but when you feel truly whole in terms of your situation. I felt that wholeness when I've been in a relationship that's truly fulfilled me within that moment. And those relationships unfortunately haven't lasted, but I'm so grateful that I did experience them. And it's the pursuit of that I love, that I want that again.
I think there's just so many elements to this. You just said to me, well, what's the secret? My relationship is not on social media, is it?
Not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest.
Should we get
Never
your
has
own
been.
TikTok? Helen, what's your husband called?
Steve.
Helen and
You will not get Steve on.
You will not get Steve on social media. But
And there's
I do
probably something
think
in that, right?
There's something in that.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a relationship for what it looks like on the outside. We have a relationship for what it feels like on the inside. Do you know what I mean? And so much of what I see is all these perfect Instagram pictures and all this, and it's bullshit.
How does it feel after 17 years? Sorry to interrupt. When life is chaotic and maybe you're stressed, you two are doing success school and you're stressed and things like that, and normally that would overwhelm you. What I would find sometimes is if I knew I was seeing my person on a Friday or a Saturday, no matter what had gone on that week and how chaotic my life was, or whatever, fires I'm having to put out and just stresses that come my way, the thought of seeing that person and then switching off that evening or for that weekend far outweighed any of that stress, to the point where that stress wasn't really stress. I was like, oh, it's fine, that's just part of business. Whereas when I'm on my own, it's very easy to get
Feel it
completely
more.
wrapped up
Yeah.
and feel that more.
Yeah.
Do you still get that after 17 years, or are you bored of each other?
Yeah, probably. It's probably less, I've got to admit, because you live together, don't you? And you're just under each other's feet all the time. But
But you do make special like times to go, right, we need to be more present.
Yeah.
We need to go off and do something, don't you?
definitely. And I think that's so important, and I've always done that. Like, I have always prioritised my relationship, like, above and beyond everything
I think
else.
it's
And I
really
think it's
important.
so important to do that. But I also think, for me, there's a level of, like, as a woman, and going into the whole gender thing is probably where I get cancelled, because I'm really old-fashioned.
We won't cancel you.
But
Fine.
as a woman, I feel like I also know there's that level of, with my husband, that if I was like, I've had enough, he'd be like, pack it in. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just... And that safety almost makes me go more, because
Yeah.
I feel less afraid, because it's like, I know I could just go, I'm not, I can't do this.
So he'll provide. He's got your back.
Exactly. And I think for a woman to be in her feminine energy, she needs to feel that security.
Well, this is what I got from my relationships. I would always be the stereotypical,
Provider.
provider. I will be the strong guy. I've got you. I'll help you. I'll do all that sort of stuff. But I would get a level of emotional support in the feminine from my partner that, some days you need that. It's not like I need someone to provide, or I need some physical security. I'll provide that for myself and the person that I'm with. I just need that emotional support where someone goes, just step out of this for a second, Ross. Get over yourself.
Yeah.
It's just a business, mate.
Yeah.
Bring you that perspective back.
Yeah. And it's that. And when you don't have that, honestly, like it's something that I am prioritizing more than anything in my life right now is the pursuit of that again, and trying to figure out this relationship game, because I've never been able to figure it out. And I think rationale goes out the window. In business, I can tell you how to make a successful business. I can help you create advertisements that will generate revenue and create great products that give value. It's quite formulaic. There's no formula in my experience for love. There's no formula, for, I don't know, kind of like, there's no rationale. It all goes out the window. Matters of the heart seem to have like no rules.
Because it's heightened emotion, right?
Yeah.
Well, look, it's Friday night, so if you're prioritising female attention, we probably need to leave this podcast studio and get out, because this is going to be one of your opportunities to meet
Yes.
people.
We'll go to Nando's.
Ross, Helen, this has been amazing. I knew it would be anyway. I feel like we genuinely have only scratched the surface of the stuff we could talk about, but I'm mindful of time. So I just want to actually say, if you've enjoyed this episode today, it's a little bit different. I'll put it to you guys. Maybe we could do this again sometime. Just chew the fat on life, love.
Well, yeah, we've not this has been a conversation, not really like wrapped anything up and given like, here's your takeaway. But yeah, I just think sort of like, hopefully some things have resonated with some people.
Yeah.
And like, if you're creating a business,
He's going to bring it back to a business. And we'll give it a little bit of value before we finish.
yeah, no, I just think.
Go on, give us the wisdom to finish us off.
I think what we've spoken about, every business owner will relate to. Like, there is no perfect. There's no one out there who's running a successful business who's got all of their pieces of their life perfect.
Agreed.
It just doesn't exist. And I think sometimes.
And if they're saying that, they're probably the people to avoid, because they're probably lying.
I just think, yeah, honestly, I've never met anybody like the people I've met with the most successful businesses have been the most obsessed, irrational people who have got that side of their life sorted, and then other parts of their life not sorted. It could be their health that suffered, their relationships that suffered. Yeah. Equally, you'll meet people who are the happiest, most fulfilled, people in their relationship, and then they're like, I want a business. And it's like, I don't think there is this perfect balance that a lot of people will try and sell to you. Like, there's got to be sacrifices and seasons of your life where you focus on one thing over the other. And then when you've got most of it together, look at the bit you haven't got and go, right,
probably need to work on that now.
Yeah, how can I get that without wrecking all this stuff? But like, it's a seesaw, man, up and down all the time, or like,
spinning plates, isn't it? And it's like, that's how I feel. I can be spinning so many and loads of areas, but then there's always that one. Like, I'll be dead consistent with the gym, and then that'll fall off, and then you'll put weight on, and everything else is going great, but now you feel fat. Or do you know? And it's just this constant battle of like, or like you're doing really well, but then your relationship's tough, or like you're so right.
It's good to just be honest about
I've
that.
never met anybody who's got all of those plates spinning perfectly. And if they have, then I think they're probably a liar because it's
Not real.
just-
You don't exist.
And again, just quickly come back to Jordan Peterson. What I love about his honesty is, someone, I think it might have even been on, we mentioned Stephen Bartlett a lot today, on a Daria the CEO episode. Stephen said, how are you? Or how are you doing? Or something like that. And he said, brilliantly and terribly at the same time. I thought that's all of us. There are parts of my life that are brilliant. There are parts, if I'm really honest, that are terrible. And different parts on a daily basis. And it's just acknowledging that that's all right.
Yeah.
It's normal.
Yeah.
It's completely normal for that to be the case.
Amen. Ross, Helen, until next time, thank you.
Pleasure.
Now get to the bloody bar. Drinks on you. No, you're never going to pull a girl in here. Come on.
No.
Off. Nando's.